It's December the 31st, New Year's Eve, and I'm sat on top of what we call the Poulton Batch. Over this way is Midsummer Norton, behind me is Poulton. I have actually been up here a few times to film, and last year, as in 2020, I came up here in the morning and filmed a beautiful sunrise, and I filmed a running tour around the Midsummer Norton area and Radstock area. That, along with 2 other videos, are still in my to-do list, which is a growing to-do list. I've got about 10 or 12 videos that I still haven't edited yet, which I hope to do soon, but I keep getting distracted by other things. So since it's the end of the year, I thought I'd come up here with this lovely view and review my year and look forward to 2022 and see what is to come, hopefully. I actually did one of these a year ago today, and on that day it was a lot colder. Today it's actually 14 degrees, which is stupidly warm for December. Last year it was about 1 or 2 degrees and it was frosty, so you can really see the difference. And frustratingly, it's really windy, so up the top here the wind's really strong, so that's why I've come into this little crevasse thing, this little sort of I don't know what you'd call it, like a little ditch thing, to just shield myself from the wind for a bit. I was going to try and record the sunset as well, which would be setting over there in about 10-15 minutes, but as you can see, I don't think we're going to be able to see very much. So let's start with last year. So just before last year I had a couple of goals in mind. The first was actually to try and run a personal best at every distance up to half marathon. It was kind of a cheat, because what I really meant by that was a personal best from my age group, which at the time was 35, 36 now, so that's vet 35 in running terms. And I thought I could do that, but in reality I only did one, which was a 10k, which was technically my PB, which was 41:57, although 2 weeks later I ran about a minute quicker in a time trial. Still a lot slower than I would have liked, and I didn't get a chance to run any other distance, so that was really disappointing. But in a way that was kind of the start of my problems, because the first challenge I had of the year was to run a 50-mile week, which I thought would be a nice easy one, and that kind of turned out to be the only thing I completed really. It took me 3 attempts to do it, and I had sciatica, I had all sorts of problems, and I did do it in the end, but the whole year has just been plagued by injuries. I've had calf problems just constantly. My calves are hurting now actually, which is why I'm not running today. I did swim today, I ran yesterday and hoping to run tomorrow, but my calves are starting to hurt again, which is annoying. But I've had calf problems the whole year. I rolled my ankle twice, which was really painful and put me out for quite a few weeks, and I just had all sorts of little niggles. So it's been a really bad year in terms of running. I've not managed to do any of the things I wanted to do running wise, and the whole year's just gone really quick. I don't really know what's happened. I mean, tomorrow is going to be 2022, and I don't really know what happened to 2021. Obviously it's been a strange year. Last year was strange too. This year felt, I guess, not so strange. It felt a little bit closer to normality. So I did manage to do another challenge, which was the Bristol 10k. I gave myself 6 weeks to train, and in the end I only had about 4 weeks of very light training because of the injuries I had. Since then I've not really done much running. At the moment I'm halfway through a 4-week, I guess you could call it a break that I'm having, where my wife and son are in Mexico. And what it means is that I'm able to focus on training for a bit. So I have done a lot more running in the past 2 weeks, and I'm hoping to keep that going for the next 2 weeks, and also keep get some weight training in and more core strength and things like that. So I'm hoping to kickstart 2022 with a bit more fitness than last year. And I think really the goals for 2022 in terms of running, first, to just get more sleep, reduce my stress, and keep up my core strength. That should help. Those 3 things should help me stay injury free, or reduce the risk of injury by a long way. The next one will be, I would like, if I can, I'd love to go and do some track races again. And actually before that, if I can, I'd like to do a few cross-country races, because I haven't done those for years. I would love to do the National Cross Country, which is in February, in Parliament Hill in London, which is a great venue. It's a tough course, 2 laps of 6k through mud and hills, but it's a great course, and if I do it I might try and record it. So really all I can set myself for next year is 2 things: don't get injured, or try not to get injured, and secondly, try and do a couple of cross-country races and some track races, specifically 800 meters. That's all I can really aim for. That's my goal for 2022 in terms of running. So the next thing is videos. In 2020 I started making YouTube videos as a way of motivating myself to run, and also a way of sharing the beautiful places I go to around England to run with other people. But they've kind of taken over, and the focus recently has been on videos, and that's kind of not what I should be doing. Really what I should be doing is focusing on my health and fitness first. So I've got about 10 or so videos that I've already filmed that I need to edit, and for the next 2 weeks I'm going to try and focus on getting as many of those as I can edited as possible. But after that, I'm going to focus on running more, and I'm not going to be making so many videos. I might make more virtual runs because they're quite easy to make. I can go for a run and film one, editing them is quite easy, so I might do more of those. But in terms of vlogs and short films and things like that I've been doing, I'm going to make less of those because they do take a long time to edit. Although speaking of that, I am actually putting together the finishing touches of a sequel to my horror film. So if any of you watched my horror film I made in October, I'm actually making a second part to that, which I've actually almost finished. In fact, I'm hoping to finish it either tonight or tomorrow and publish it next week, because this hopefully will go out tomorrow on New Year's Day. So that one follows on from the first one, and if you found the first one scary at all, then you're going to find this one even scarier, so hopefully it won't be too scary. In fact, there's actually a third part to it, which I haven't started editing yet, but I have filmed it, and I think it's going to be even better than the second one, and I think the second one's better than the first one, not third one. So hopefully if you watch it, let me know what you think, and if you want me to make more things like that. I've also filmed another thing that I'm going to make into a short film, which is autumn. So I did lots of clips of me running in autumn with autumn leaves in the background. I'm going to try and make a nice short film, a much more positive scenic film than the horror films, but hopefully try and make that, and hopefully that'll come out early next year. But apart from the videos I've already filmed, I'm going to try and take it easy a bit on that and try not to push myself too much to make too many. I'm just going to give myself a break and make them as and when I have time. Which leads me on to the third part, which in 2022 I just want to try and slow down a bit. And 2021 went really fast, and I've been very stressed, and it hasn't been the year I expected. So I'm going to try and make 2022 a more relaxing year, less stressful, try and work on my mental and physical health, and just hopefully the world will start to get a bit back to normality again. But I'm going to still keep making videos, just probably not so frequently. I hope you all have had a great year, and I hope you have a great 2022. So I'd like to wish you all a happy new year, and I'll leave you with a time lapse of not really a sunset, but these clouds. Hopefully it'll look okay, and I will see you again in 2022. Happy New Year, and thanks for watching.